Hello, and welcome to Bama Red Raw and Uncut Talk. I'm your host, Pat Hurd, better known as the Poor Widow's Boy. I do thank you for dropping by to spend time with me. Besides, I truly enjoy your company. And remember, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's chop it up a bit. You know, I was thinking just the other day that, what if, hear me out, what if things turned out differently than they had in my life when I was younger? Or what if certain events or things did not occur at all when I was younger? For example, what if I chose or you chose a different set of friends to run with back in the day? Or perhaps I became addicted to a particular drug I experimented with. And let's just say the experimentation with certain drugs happened more than once. Or perhaps I became addicted to a woman only because of her loud and vivacious curves, along with one hell of a sex game, but yet totally disregarding her thoughtless mind. Yes, I know some of you are dealing with that right now. You're married or you're housing her. Good luck with that. But what if the same business opportunities or the criminal justice system were fair and just in its distribution and without bias to all men, regardless of race, while growing up? Would I be the same person in the mirror today? Would I be a better or worse version of that person in the mirror staring back at me? Who, what, and where would I be if things were different when I was young? Would I change anything or do it all the same if I had a choice? What about you? Think about that for a moment. And I don't know about you, but I've done many things in the past that I regret deeply also. I fucked up. Let's call it like it is. And as you know, here at Bama Red Raw and Uncut Talk, we keep it 100. And I stand on that. So yes, I fucked up royally, and more than once. And I still fuck up today. Perhaps at a lesser cost though. But thank God, my heart is no longer hardened like the Pharaoh's heart of Egypt. If I could go back and change some things, I most certainly would. I would right the wrongs. Now that I'm older and more mature, my outlook on life is totally different. I have a family that depends on me. I'm smarter, or at least I hope so. Age has brought wisdom. Besides, I have far more to lose now. And quite frankly, I've aged out of that distasteful way of life. Unfortunately, I've been replaced by a younger version. You know who they are. You see them on the streets, news, in your neighborhood, your family. And there's even some you don't see. But listen to this. God knew evil and good would coexist together. And for the Bible readers out there, yes, Eve, disobedient, greedy ass, ate that forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil in the Garden of Eden. The primary sin was not the fruit itself, no, but instead her choice to disobey God's clear instruction not to eat from that specific tree. That serpent won that battle. And because of this, she brought evil into the world. Take it or leave it. It is what it is. It is within the human experience that both positive and negative aspects of morality can coexist simultaneously, often within the same person or situation, which in turn allow for complex choices and motivations. And yes, each and every one of us has the potential for good and evil to exist in us. I often say that we can control our actions. However, we cannot control its consequences. Don't get caught playing checkers when the game being played is chess. Checkmate. But what might be considered good to me could be considered evil to you, and vice versa, depending on the situation. You know, I look in the rearview mirror and can only say two words, but God. I understand Now, why Mama Pearl kept my ass under constant prayer. She used to literally bathe me in praying oil. And Lord knows I needed it. Thank you, Mama Pearl. Wait a minute. Hold on for a second. I must interject and make a correction. Some of the things I've done in the past that wasn't, let's say, good, I wouldn't change. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's between God and I. That part there. But what if you could somehow travel back in time and reconfigure or change the course of history for yourself, others, or the world? What changes would you make? What things would remain the same, if any? What if we had the power to do such a thing? How about this? What if you and I had the opportunity to sit at the same table with Jesus and hold dialogue with the Master, to talk to him face to face as a man speaketh to a man? What would that conversation be like? One thing I can surely tell you, it'll be a whole lot different than going to him in prayer. What would you ask of him? What would you tell him? If he said to you that you had 3 wishes he would grant you, no matter what they were, what would they be? The Master is telling you whatever your 3 desires of your heart is, he will grant them. What would these 3 wishes be? In the book of Romans 12:19 through 21, it clearly tells us that God says vengeance is his. Now hold on to that part right there. We're going to revisit that. What if? What if I would have married my first love while in college? Or you married your first love? Some of you perhaps did marry your first love. And then there are some of you whom are married and still looking for your first love. But now ask yourself, what if you could travel back in time and marry your first love? And by the way, my first love practiced medicine and doing quite well for herself. Yeah, that part there. I'm always getting myself in trouble. I love my wife and I'm happily married. But what if? Thank God I didn't marry my first love. Because when I look around, I have so much to be thankful for with my wife today. I had to make sure I said that. My ass would be sleeping in the guest room till Jesus come through on a donkey. What if? What if when I was out there in those streets, slinging dope and doing dope, banging, pimping, horn, robbing, making it rain for the dancers, etc., etc. What if I would have gotten jammed up either with the law or the streets? And yet because of my destructive and reckless lifestyle then, I'm still here. But what if things would have turned out different for me? What if my movements would have been different? What if I did things new school way instead of the old school way I did it back then? I've attended hospitals, prisons, and funerals of my friends and loved ones. But what if it was the other way around? It was me. My friends and family were coming to see. Why not me? Laying in the hospital bed, in a sick room. Why not me? In a prison cage like a trapped animal. Oh, why not me in a night suit, in a casket, being lowered down 6 feet in the ground? Why was little old me spared when it should have been me? The poor widow's boy. Why was you spared? You know your story. Should have, could have, would have, but not. Somebody talk back to me, damn it. I'm asking a question. Why not you? Take a look in your own rearview mirror. Exactly. That part there once again. What if you could go back and change certain circumstances or events in your life? What would you change? What would the mirror reflection of yourself be today if you can go back and change something in your yesterday? Would the Picasso portrait of yourself be something different because of the change, brushstrokes of your life you made after traveling back in time? What if? What if that person that was and perhaps is a friend of the family or a family member that touched you or raped you when you were an innocent child? If you had the opportunity to travel back in time, what would you do to this person that violated and took advantage of little you? I told you in the prayer that we would revisit the part when God said in the book of Romans 12:19-21 that vengeance is his. Would you ask God while sitting at the table with him when he granted you 3 wishes? Would one of your wishes be to invoke severe pain or even death to this person that violated you and perhaps others? And still to this day, this motherfucker comes to the family gatherings and everybody hides his crime with silence and carry on as business as usual. Would you say to your God, my God, please do not forsake me once again. Grant me my wish. You know what it is. I'm just asking the what ifs. According to the majority of theoretical physics and philosophical concepts, that if you or I could go back in time and change something which occurred in our past, it would most likely result in a drastically changed future. Even the smallest changes in our past could lead to significantly different outcomes in the present. Now check this out. Some theories suggest that time would automatically adjust to maintain consistency. You're perhaps saying, what do you mean? Let me explain. Any changes that you make in the past would ultimately be negated by events that follow. In other words, the universe will simply rearrange events so that the present stays the same. Although our intuition tells us that the future can be changed. However, Einstein's theory of relativity suggests that there's no real difference between the future and the past. Is it to say that the future, present, and past may not be as different as we think? I'm just asking. What if? What if? Your turn.